Dr. Umar Jackson Johnson, defends Kanye West amid all his cousin's controversy. Look, he say, according to him, same-sex ancestral relationships is very common in the black communities. Bro, look, it, leave it on Dr. Umar Jackson Johnson, to always say some stupid shit. If you a millionaire, billionaire black man, if you got some money, Dr. Umar is gonna always make an excuse. Always, bro. Look, all that pan-Africanism is cool, you know what I mean? But you gotta hold everybody accountable for their actions. Accountable for their actions. Bro, you can't make no excuse for Kanye West because he say he was sucking up, giving his cousin fellatio from the age of 6 to 14. He was 3-4 years older than Stevie, bruh. Don't try to say this is normal in the black communities. You're making black people look bad. Not me. Somebody told me, bro, please hold your comments. You don't do anything for the black community. Bro, I make melanated people look good every day. Why? I control the narrative. I father my kids, you know what I mean? Been married 17, 18 years. Always gonna hold down a job. That's how you make the black community look good, bro. Miss me with all that bot shit. Worry about your goddamn self. Right now, this is between me and Umar Jackson. My bad. Umar Johnson. You're always saying some stupid shit and it must stop. Accountability, brother. Accountability. If it ain't about accountability, you ain't saying shit, bro. You could stab somebody, you could do whatever you want to do because you feel like the white community, the Caucasian community, been holding you down for years, having their foot on your neck. Bro, that shit regional. Most of us never experience some of the shit you talking about. You know what I mean? And we'll never, because we don't justify ourselves to those type of conditions. We live righteous, bro. We live like we supposed to have the money. You know what I mean? We ain't living like somebody is giving us pennies and everything, bro. It don't matter if you black, white, or orange. In America, you got to get out there and get it. And you got to do it by being a positive influence in the community. Point blank, period. Drop it in the comments. I am not an Umar Jackson fan. He says some okay things, but his line of thinking is really fucked up. Really fucked up, bro. All that African shit, we are not African, bro. You have to know your lineage to even understand that. Nigga, Africans sneered us. You know what I mean? Why would we say we're Africans? Drop it in the comments. I don't get that. Scars from the playground, man. I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help me God. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Smokey Robinson denies sexual assault allegations. Look, in fact, he say, I am appalled. I can't even speak about this right now. Look, bro, this is 4 Hispanic housekeepers that came out. They say that rape, sexual assault, and creating a hostile work environment. Alleging he was doing this type of thing to him from 2006 to 2024. Coercing them into non-consensual sex, most of the times without protection. On top of that, they even threw the wife in there. The wife would call them wet bees and all type of other shit, and tell them to get back to work. Look, bro, I don't know if Smokey Robinson is guilty of this. Look, they often call me Speedo, but my real name is Lester. I fuck with Smokey Robinson, but this ain't about that, bro. Unfortunately, everything you do, and people might say it's a war on black men, bro. Powerful black men. Man. The shit you do behind the scenes when you think nobody is watching, whether or not he thought them women didn't understand English or was never gonna get that snap to it, I'm obliged to believe the victims, bro. Yeah, I'm obliged to believe the victims. Everybody is not just going after these millionaires' money because they got money. A lot of these people were actually done wrong, bro. Point blank period. I know some people hate to hear that because Smokey Robinson is loved in the community by everybody, black, white, and orange. That's Smokey Robinson. Copacabana Smokey Robinson. Everybody loves him. He ain't just part of the black community. He's part of every community, and he's well respected. So I don't think this is just no target on a black man. I think maybe something just happened there. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments. Everybody know. Freaky old niggas, celebritized or not, they do some things. They into some shit. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments. But shout out Smokey Robinson. I love him. Love him. My grandmother loved him. You know what I mean? But it hurts me to have to come out here and do something that potentially may hurt him. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, bro. Y'all drop it in the comments. Squash on the play. Black said he never felt loved by a woman other than his mother. Never felt it. That real unconditional love. I'm going to tell every YN big bro unk out there that's looking for a woman that's going to ride with him. You got to give a woman something to love, bro. Yeah, you got to give a woman something to love. All that cheating and drugging and running the streets, this ain't that. This ain't that old 1990s Tupac way of life. You got to get that out of your head, bro. You got to give a woman something that she feel like, you know what? This man love me as much as I love him. Then you're gonna feel that love. But if you continue to get fucked up, run the streets thinking you gonna do what you wanna do and you gonna have a good woman waiting on you at the highs, on top of that, allegedly you beat the shit out of them, ain't nobody gonna stick with you. Point blank, period. Because a lot of y'all think it's just about the money. It's just about the money on. Look, a woman can do bad all by her goddamn self. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Nigga, drop it in the comments. Rick Ross is open to ending his beef with Drizzy Drake. Look, he can say that BBL Drizzy shit all day and smoke him a joint. It's really nothing, bro. He ain't really pressed for anything. But if Drake was to send him a bottle of White Bel Air, he might take a picture with him. Look, Rick Ross is a funny guy. Funny guy. Like Joe Pesci, when he called Ray Liotta funny, Rick Ross is just something about him. He got that good personality. It wasn't never really nothing serious between Drake and Rick Ross. You gotta be able to take the shots if you gonna throw them. Point blank, period. I'm gonna say that again. You gotta be able to take the shots if you gonna throw them. Now, we all seen Rick Ross get his ass whooped by the motorcycle gang in Toronto. But look, bro, that's just a fight. That's what niggas do. Yeah, nigga will call you a bitch and some old shit. But if y'all was able to see each other and shake hands, it might be all love. That's what we at with this. Shout out Rick Ross, because, yeah, he gonna be funny about the situation. But the truth of the matter is, that nigga ain't really got no beats. He's just protecting himself. We see how 50 been doing that, man, for years. You can't step into the arena if you ain't ready for it. Meaning, if it's too hot in the kitchen for you, stay your bitch ass out. But if you can stay in that kitchen and withstand that heat, guess what? You might be as stiff as a nigga once thought you was. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments. Look, Kanye West releases music video for his Heil Hitler. One of his tracks is going on the Cook album with the Cousins album, where he done got a whole bunch of men that's willing to shave their heads and act like they skinheads. They singing, nigga, Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler. Look, one of the most notable lines in the song is when a man say he got millions of dollars and still can't see his kids. Millions of dollars and still not allowed to see them children. Bro, you got to do something to make that woman want you to see them kids. Because right now, you talking about you been sucking your cousin off and all that other bullshit. Who would really let you around them little boys? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. You shouldn't be around your son or your daughters. Point blank, period, until you can learn to clean your act up and take your ass to therapy. Bro, you got deep-rooted issues that you must go see a doctor for that. On top of the neurological issues from the whippets and all of the inhaling of the gas. Look, bro, you got to go see somebody. You may never see them kids again if all you talk about is being a Nazi and sucking your cousin off, bro. You have black children. Black fucking children. On top of that, Kim Kardashian and them ain't Caucasian. Let's start there, bro. You saying some shit that's hurting everybody. Stop that, clean up your act, and maybe one day you could see them children. But right now, you don't need to see them kids. Point blank, period. Because you can't get your shit right. You can't act right. But you gon' learn, Kanye. Oh, yeah, nigga. You gon' learn. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. This nigga must be off his motherfucking rocker for real. Nah, he want to see the kids so goddamn bad. Nigga, clean up your act. Even a judge wouldn't grant that woman, wouldn't grant you visitation for those kids. Let's just be honest, bro. Drop it in the comments. Kanye, bro. I never thought I'd fucking see the day. Never thought I'd see the day, bro. When I was a fan of a man, it was Kanye. You know what I mean? When I grew up, bro, I realized all these niggas just character and playing on your top. All they doing is playing on your top. Drop it in the comments, man. That shit gotta stop. Scars from the play. Lil Durk fans will be upset to know his recent bond request has been denied. And that's by a judge, bruh. It's final. That man is not getting out. He must sit in there to a trial. They are saying the evidence is sufficient enough in the superseding indictment to keep him detained. Look, y'all drop it in the comments, bruh. You can't do wrong. Point blank, you can't do wrong and think that they not gonna spank you. They got him. They got him, y'all. Y'all drop it in the comments. I don't mean to laugh at him, but it's like these crocodile tears ain't gonna get you out of this shit, fam. It ain't gonna get you out of this shit, cause why? You was sounding mighty tough when you was rapping that shit. You know what I mean? Even had me powered up. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, fam. Now, it's like I didn't do it. Please let me out. They said no. No. That's the final decision. Look, y'all drop it in the comments, but the victims matter, fam. That's just me being honest. I'm just keeping it a buck. Look, I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help me God. And Quando Rondo, friend Lil Pop, L-U-L, because they say Lil Pop. Lil Pop didn't have nothing to do with none of that shit. You know what I mean? On top of that, there was some old innocent bystanders that was hit. 6ix9ine say he tricked them off the streets. Told that man, go slide for Vaughn, don't come back until you got something to show for it. He listened. Yeah, like a dummy. He listened. Daddy got out, tried to change him, but unfortunately, he was too far gone. Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Like, share, subscribe, nigga, peace. IMW Melly finally did it, bro. His played to get out finally worked. Kind of. You know what I mean? Yeah, like kind of. Like maybe like a 15, 18% workage. Why? They only granted the man bond for 1 out of 6 charges. That was his conspiracy for tampering charge. $500,000. If he paid that and the other 5 charges are approved for bond, he might have to pay 10, 20 million to get out. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. They got him. They got him, y'all. When they don't want to let you out. And you know, I felt bad for him, admittedly. But you can't feel bad for these guys, bro. You can't feel bad for them. No matter how much you try to humanize yourself once you in there, you gotta remember Sack Chase and Juvie. And I almost forgot about him. Why? You just see this young man sitting in court and he's been there 5, 6 years. And you thinking like, you know what? Let him out into trial. But they scared of Melly. They scared of that boy. Dress or not. Drop it in the comments. But YMW Melly too will have to sit in that clank until they decide his fate. Drop it in the comments, man. Maybe if they let him out, which I just don't think is gonna happen, bro, because there's too much that's left unexplained. Point blank, period. What happened that night? Why did you switch cars? What the fuck did Fredo Bang have to do with anything? Inquiring minds want to know. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Did announce his release date for his God Does Like Ugly album. I'm gonna say that again. God does like ugly album. And you know, he got a point, because some of them ugliest motherfuckers in the world be some of the most blessed. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. But this thing is gonna come out August 9th, I believe. 15 tracks is gonna be his 4th studio album. He say he's finally taking his first footsteps in a world that he can't control. That he can control. And he say it's ugly. Ugly, because he's just trying to piece it together. But this is gonna be beautiful. Why? He put his hard work and time into this. He ain't just putting a knot just to sell records and collect the little change. He's taking the time you must take to make something great. So yeah. I'm into this. I'm ready to see what this album be by. Yeah, I'm ready to see what this album be by, because they already said the visuals are some of the best visuals he's ever put out. And Jid is an incredible rapper. Baby Jid, we're gonna see what he do. We're gonna see what he do. And if it's lackluster, unfortunately, even though that's my nigga, I gotta come out and say, bruh, you should have stayed, or thank you, you've played. Point blank period, but it's either smash it or trash it. I'm just being honest, I'm just being real. Look, y'all drop it in the comments, man. I fuck with Jid. I am not a fan of anybody, but I am a believer of his. You know what I mean? Shit, y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Yayo released the official music video for Street Dreams with Twisted Black. Look, this song is fire, bro. This song is honoring Lil Ronnie and his daughter. I think more rappers, especially in Texas, should talk about this. But look, he say he been running on a lonely road, running from the devil, trying to save his soul. But he know that's just how the game goes. Look, bruh, it's heat. On top of that, we got Twisted Black in here. Shout out to him, because I respect that brother, bro. Everything he said in this track lines up, matches up. He said he remember going to the mall just to look at something. Turns out he had a stolen polo folded in his book bag. That reminded me of 2005, 2006. And I say, bruh, that nigga real. And it wasn't just that line, it was more than that. But it's something to listen to, bro. Something other than his other shit. And I ain't never been a Go Yayo fan, but I'm gonna tell you like this, I respect that man. I'm just being honest, I'm just being real, bro. R.I.P. Lil Ronnie and his daughter. We gotta say that, bro. More people, even the ones that claim they don't like Go Yo-Yo and all of that type of shit, this is about that little baby being taken out like that, bro. Everybody got a moral obligation to speak on it and make sure it doesn't happen again. Look, shout out Go Yayo and Twisted Black, cause that song and that video and everything it meant is fire, fam, fire. Drop it in the comments, man. All that other shit was going on between him and Albert, or the peso guy that cornholed the 3.5 up his ass. I ain't worried about that type of shit. That's them niggas beef. Fuck all that, nigga. We talking about music, emotions, and some other shit. Drop it in the comments, man. Shout out Go Yayo. He be moving like he's addicted, man. Goddamn, I'm just a dreamer. He doesn't believe in procrastination, but I thought we was just schemers. And he don't beef for niggas, man, but I'm quick to lose my patience. He's cool, all the anonymity, but I hate to be faceless.